So, springtime has arrived here in Germany. It's been coming on for a while now. Here you can take a peek out the window here. Can you see? I'm not sure, but it's nice and green out there. It's warm. Oh, who could complain? Um, Well, I can, because with the spring has come ants in my kitchen. Hmm. Um, as you'll be able to see by the upcoming footage, I've had these ants have been around for a while now, and well, gosh, I'm kind of at my wit's end. Here are the ants. Uh, they're uh, they're kind of going all over the place. So it all started. I don't know. Maybe at least a month ago now. I think it must have been. One day I came into my kitchen and I saw on the wall I saw some ants and I kind of, for a while there, I just kind of ignored them. I really, I just said, well, they're off in their corner, they're not bothering anybody, as long as they don't come out here into the kitchen, then maybe I won't bother them either, live and let live. Um, and that worked really well for, at least a week, until there was one day, one night I had eaten a mango. I had cut a mango open and eaten it, and then I had wandered off into the living room, and I think watched a couple episodes of Quantum Leap, and then I went to bed, and I woke up in the morning, and I came into the kitchen, and it was swarming with ants. The ants had crawled from various locations around the kitchen. They had crawled up onto the kitchen table where I had left all the dirty dishes and those rinds of mango. And they were everywhere. Oh, I've got here a spray bottle. It's called Kraft Vinegar, aka Power Cleaner. But there's no power cleaner in here anymore, as you can see. Instead, this is one of my key weapons against the ants. I fill it up with here I've got some table vinegar. And I'm just gonna fill up, put some vinegar in here. I've used about 2 tablespoons of this vinegar in cooking, but the rest has all gone to the ants. Especially on that first day, I just doused my kitchen in vinegar. Just see what those ants would do. Now, the first line of defense against an ant infestation is cinnamon. Here I've got my cinnamon. And cinnamon is supposed to deter ants because they don't like the smell, because it smells a little too strong. So the first thing I do when I decide that I don't want to ignore the ants anymore is I just sprinkle a little cinnamon on them, and they're like, oh, cinnamon, ooh. Then they kind of skedaddle. It takes a little while for them to decide to do anything about the cinnamon, but actually it definitely deters them. But then you come in with round 2, which of course is my vinegar, right? You give them a little spritz, and at first, when I did this, I thought that vinegar killed the ants. I thought it was I thought it was a poison to them, and so I was, you know, I was very like, all right, I don't want to kill anything, but you got to do what you got to do, right? So I got out my vinegar and there we go. I got a little on the computer, and I sprayed the ants, and but they didn't die, at least not on contact. But I thought, all right, maybe they'll go, off into their hole and die there. But as the day progressed, I found that they weren't dying, but the vinegar did have a very marked effect. The ants started, dancing around, and they were like helter-skelter. They didn't know which way to go. And I read online that the way vinegar actually works on an ant, on ants, is that, so ants use these chemical trails to navigate, right? So one ant will find some food, and then it'll draw a little chemical trail, right? And then the other ants will smell that chemical trail and they'll just kind of follow it along, right? Well, when you spray vinegar, vinegar will erase the chemical trail. So then the ants don't really know where they're going and they'll go back to their little holes, right? And maybe decide that your kitchen really isn't the ideal place to be. All right, well, so this is about a few minutes later. You can see I sprinkled some cinnamon down here because I heard that ants don't like cinnamon, and I also sprayed everything with vinegar, and as you can see, the ants have dispersed. I also put some cinnamon and vinegar down here. Well, I'm gonna go ignore the ants for a little while, and then maybe later I'll come back and see how things have progressed. There is a third line of defense, because cinnamon and vinegar will only hold off an ant for so long. And I didn't want to have to do it. I was really nervous, but I did it. I poured boiling water on the ants, and that got them. That got them. There was no bones about it. But I wasn't happy about it. I felt bad for those ants. They didn't know. They had no idea that I was about to pour boiling water on them. But clearly, as you can see, the ants are still there. They just, maybe there are fewer of them than there would be, but I'm not able, because their nest is deep in the wall, I can't pour boiling water down in the walls, so I'm stymied. So what is there to do, right? I don't want to spray all kinds of gross chemicals and things, because it's the kitchen, and I don't want to eat those chemicals, and also I just those things can't be good wherever you spray them, so I really wanted to stick to the cinnamon and the vinegar and the boiling water. But what am I gonna do? I don't know at this point, and a part of me just feels like I just need to go back to ignoring them, that, I'm watching them over there, here, there they are. I don't know if you can see them from here. Yeah, you can kind of see them. And I'm watching those ants, and I'm just thinking, I can share my kitchen with you, It just means I can't leave dirty dishes out, and most especially, I can't leave the rind of a mango sitting on my kitchen table. It's just not an option. Not an option at all. And we'll just see how this partnership continues over the next 2 months until I leave.